It's been a big deal for the last several days, really 13 days worth of this storm since it was named, and it continues to pose problems. It is now a Category 1 storm off the coast of Cape Hatteras right now with 90-mile-per-hour winds. There is a possibility that this morning we could see a landfall near the Outer Banks, but very quickly it would move out to sea, so it's not going to linger as the forward speed has started to pick up. You'll notice the South Carolina region is now out of the wind gusts, which is great news. There's still some strong winds in Wilmington, North Carolina, 36 miles per hour there. Cape Hatteras incredibly close to the storm center with 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts right now. And again, likely getting a little stronger as the system still makes its way a little closer. Center of circulation is still several miles offshore. It is moving to the north and northeast, which will bring it incredibly close, if not to a landfall point in Cape Hatteras later today. But look at all the rain that's been slamming areas of the Outer Banks for the last few hours. Flooding there, almost a certainty. Tropics Tracker does show the storm moving offshore very quickly today, downing to about 85-mile-per-hour winds over the next day or two, and we'll continue to see quite a bit of this storm system stay put together enough to hold on to those tropical characteristics all the way through the weekend. Eventually into next week, it will move on its way up toward the North Atlantic, almost toward Greenland as a remnant low, and creating some choppy surf up there, but no more of an impact to land. Another storm with no impact to land was Tropical Storm Gabrielle. That is now a post-tropical cyclone just floating out to sea. It's possible it could re-strengthen sometime late in the weekend, but at this point, it stays a fish storm, leaving no impact on land whatsoever, which is great news as we continue tracking the tropics. We are in the heat of hurricane season now, and we have a 70% chance now for development. This was intensified in the last hour's update for this tropical wave off of the coast of Africa to form in the next 5 days. So this one may be the next one to watch, but it's about 10 or so days away from any real concern if it were to head this way. So we're going to watch that very closely. For now, things are calming down, Isaac, and I know you've been watching our local forecast as well.
Yep, that's right. And we're looking at winds now a little calmer than yesterday. That's good news, but still could be a little breezy at times today, but overall calmer than yesterday. We had gusts at GSP approach 30 miles per hour. On your forecast today, we're starting off again in the 70s this morning, around 76 degrees in the next hour, 92 expected for an average high temperature in the mountains, starting around 68 degrees early, reaching 85 this afternoon at 5 o'clock. Speaking of 5 o'clock temperatures, we could be even hotter in parts of northeast Georgia and the southern upstate, middle 90s. That's way above average for this time of the year. Middle 80s on the way for western North Carolina. Your sky meter today rating it not quite perfection, but very close. It's a 9 out of 10. No chance of rain. Should be a nice day to be out and about. If you are heading out to Boiling Springs, it's our game of the week. Chapman coming up, and we're looking at 83 degrees for the kickoff. And then by halftime today, we're looking at 77 degrees for the second half of the game. Texas A&M and Clemson squaring off tomorrow afternoon at 3:30, 90 degrees expected. It will be a sunny and toasty day out in Tiger Town. In Columbia, Charleston Southern coming to town to take on South Carolina. It's a lunchtime kickoff at 87 degrees, and then we're turning hot and staying hot through the rest of the game, with afternoon highs in the fourth quarter reaching the 90s. We stay in the 90s this weekend, morning lows in the 60s, not feeling too bad there into next week. We do add some extra clouds. A small chance of rain moves in by Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week.